Hi, my name is Roisin Lyder, and I'm running for Academic and University Affairs Commissioner. So I've sat on the board of directors of the CSA for the past year as the Guelph Campus Co-op representative. Attending board meetings, sitting on committees, working on CSA campaigns has given me the confidence that I need to know that I would be able to do a good job in this position. I also have a lot of respect for many of the services that the CSA is able to provide to students on campus. Things like the bull ring, the bus pass, the food bank, human rights office, all the clubs that we have on campus. I really believe that all of these things really contribute to the culture on our campus. However, at the same time, I also feel that the CSA could be doing more in its capacity to provide a strong, united front for student advocacy. And I would really hope to work with the other incoming commissioners to further this goal. I've been involved with various groups on campus throughout my time here at the university. Working with the CSA has given me a thorough understanding of its operations. As an executive member of the Guelph Campus Co-op, I've had the opportunity to work with policy and staff performance. As a collective member at the Guelph Resource Center for Gender Empowerment and Diversity, I've had the opportunity to undergo extensive anti-oppression training. And with all the clubs that I've worked with on campus, I've had opportunities to organize events and liaise with students. In my part-time job as a staff person at a bookstore, I have experience working with budgets, supervising staff, and providing cultural programming. And I've also really noticed with the various campaigns that I've been involved with on campus that students often feel a bit alienated from their representatives. And I really hope I have the chance to use all my experience and ideas to address this problem. Definitely. As Academic and University Affairs Commissioner, my number one goal is to consistently speak about and advocate for maintaining the academic diversity and quality of this institution, the University of Guelph. I don't really see the purpose of having an academic commissioner if that individual isn't committed to defending students' academic interests. If our student reps aren't going to speak up on our behalf, who are? There's other things I'd like to work on also. I'd like to collaborate with the other incoming executives to increase accountability and accessibility of the executive and of the board of directors. Students are busy. Many of them don't understand the structure of the CSA or even have any desire to understand the structure of the CSA. So it's the job of the executive commissioners to go out and seek a student opinion and student input instead of waiting for students to come to them. I'd also like to work closely with the incoming external commissioner, in particular on campaigns for affordable education. I was involved this year in the Guelph campaign for Poverty-Free Ontario and last year the Drop Fees campaign. So if I'm elected, I think next year's campaign will be even bigger and better. And also I'm interested in ensuring that there's adequate training for the board of directors of the CSA. I personally was a bit disappointed with the lack of training that we received over the past year, since I think it's crucial to the effective functioning of the organization. At this point, I say that I would be interested in doing some work around, and that's collaborating with some of the organizers on campus around making the classroom a safe space. I think there's sort of a somewhat well-known list floating around on Facebook. You may have seen it of a list of quite homophobic comments that were submitted on an online discussion forum as academic responses to a question with little or no moderation from the professor. And also I've spoken with students who have had experiences in classes where the discussion has made them feel very uncomfortable or hurt. Whether it's a comment a student made, a professor made, I don't know. I feel like there's room for improvement in this area. And what tackling this issue would look like, I don't know. I think there's many ways to address it. It could be producing resources for professors who would like help in this area, producing resources for students who need to access help in these situations, or even something like coordinating a campus-wide awareness campaign or something like that. This issue is really important to me. I think I said before that it is the executive job to be consistently seeking input from students and stakeholders at every step of the decision-making process. I believe strongly in going to where the students are instead of waiting for students to come to you. I'm also particularly interested in effectively collaborating with the various organizations around campus that represent marginalized students on campus. I think in part these organizations exist because the voices of these groups have been ignored in the past. And as our student union, I think it's really important to be aware of this and constantly working to address it. And in respect to this, I think one important thing is ensuring adequate anti-oppression training for all levels of the CSA, whether that's the executive, the board of directors, staff, clubs, everyone. I personally have had the opportunity to undergo many anti-oppression workshops, as well as anti-ableism, Trans 101, peer and crisis support, and conflict resolution workshops. And these workshops have given me the tools that I will use on a daily basis if I'm elected into this position. My understanding of university policy and governance comes from independent research, as well as speaking to some of the student senators who are elected to represent me on the Senate, which is the highest academic governing body at the university. I also have learned about these issues from hearing QP members speak and from hearing members of the university administration speak. If I'm elected next year, I look forward to working with all of the student senators and furthering my understanding of university operations while advocating on behalf of students. I'd just like to add that I have no interest in being a typical student leader. I do, however, have a strong desire to be your student representative. I believe that if students are going to trust their reps, they have to be shown over and over through concrete action that they're being listened to. If having a strong advocate for academic issues on this campus is important to you, then I'm the right person to vote for. And I'd also just like to mention that if you'd like to read my platform, which I highly recommend, you can find it by searching my group on Facebook. It's Vote Roisin Lyder. Roisin is spelled R-O-I-S-I-N. It's Irish, in case you're wondering. And you can also find my platform on my blog, which is roisinlyder.blogspot.com. And if you have questions or concerns, please email me at rlyder@uatguelph.ca.